Hey guys, Toki here with another strategy guide for Vaulted Incarnates. Today we're going to look at how to optimize our Mythic Terros prog. I want to go over a few things with you guys. First and foremost is the general movement and ability usage. It's a very highly scripted fight, and so once we understand the Terros dance, as it were, everything will become a lot simpler and a lot more muscle memory. Also, we'll go over tank lines, dust clears, and some ground AoE information. So, first and foremost is the movement and ability usage. We're all familiar with the soak mechanic, but we're not all performing it optimally. So, just want to talk about that again. So, no change from before. We all stack in the soak mechanic. The pillars all go to the left, and then one thing to note is that if you don't have the pillar mechanic or the soak mechanic isn't on you, you should be stacked up on the far right side of the soak mechanic. And what that will do is it'll allow you very little movement to then move over into the healing section. Okay. And it's really important that we're stacked up in the healing section because the damage doesn't come out with the soak. The damage comes when the tanks break those awakened earth pillars. That's when the real damage hits. And so being stacked up after the soak is the most important time and most important place to be stacked. So we all need to make sure we make that movement. We also want as little movement as possible to maximize our uptime on casting DPS classes. So stand on the right side of the soak. After the soak comes out, the tank lines will come out. They'll break the awakened earth pillars. We will stay clumped. We won't move. We're not going to spread out after this. There's no need to. And then what's going to happen is we're going to get the ground AoE. And that's just a big ground AoE that needs to not be soaked, just needs to be avoided. And so what's going to happen there is almost everyone in the raid is just going to move left, just out of that ground AoE. And then the 6 players who assigned late dust clears, they're going to move left as well, but also away from the boss. Okay? And the reason is that everyone else in the raid is going to be pixel stacked. And so they're going to get an immediate dust clear. So all the dust circles will be dropped in the same spot, and they can just sidestep a little bit after that. The players in the back will wait 2 to 4 seconds before they clear their dust. And I saw people waiting a long time last night. It's not a long wait. It's just a couple second wait before you clear yours, just to give healers a chance to top some people that are super low. Okay, so you wait 2 to 4 seconds and you clear, and then everyone groups back up again, getting ready for the next mechanic. So if you look at the ability line here, it's soak, lines, AoE, dust, an empty tank line, which is always going to be pointed to the left, like this. Okay. And then you go back to the soak mechanic. And I just want to take a couple seconds here for the tanks. The tank line always goes to the left here if there's no pillars to clear, because when we get to later phases where there's annihilation blocking off a part of the room, you want the tank line on the left. And what you can do is you can line it up just with the edge of the annihilation where hopefully no one is standing. Or you can stand in the ground effects of the annihilation and aim it into nowhere. Those ground effects don't actually do that much damage. It's okay to stand in there and aim it like that. Okay, so that's the first ability usage. Once we get through there, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to stack up for the soak mechanics. There's going to be some ground pools down, but we're going to do the same movement. We're going to stay on the right side of the soak. We're going to move into the healing area. We're going to sit in the healing area, and no one's going to move out of it until the ground AoE comes out. And then the bulk of the raid is going to move left, whereas the range delay clears who are assigned are going to move left and back away from the boss to delay their dust clears. Annihilation will then happen, which will look like this. We'll all gate out of it. The raid, just like in previous dust clears, are all going to pixel stack together, except for the 6 players who are assigned for a delayed clear. They go to the back of the room and spread out a little bit, just like that. Okay, and the exact same thing happens. Everyone pixel clears immediately in melee and steps to the side, and the range take 2 to 4 seconds to clear their stacks. And then you repeat. You start over from the soak. That's it. Okay, so that is movement and abilities. That is tank lines. That's dust clears, and ground AoEs. So I also want to take a second here, just to show you guys one of our last prog fights here. Let's find this guy. 1128 is our last one. Yeah. Go ahead and go over this one together. So we'll just look at one rotation of the abilities, just to give an example of what it should look like. So here, we're about to get the soak on pull. Okay, we should all be stacked up nice and tight together. There's the soak. And so here, the Awakened Earth obviously go to the left. We're all familiar with that. But the people who are soaking should be on the right side here. You'll see me run there. This makes movement after the fact easier. So there's the pillars. They really should be in a better line. That's okay. Okay, so then the soak hits. These people back here not soaking should not be. They should be in the soak with everyone else. But you notice not a lot of damage went out with that soak. Okay, we're all going to move to the right here. And now we're clear. And we should be stacked up together. These pillars get burst. More damage comes out. And you'll see there's a ticking dot on everyone. We should all be stacked here. These people to the side should not be there. People in the back should not be there. We should all be clumped up in that dome. Now, I moved left here. I should not have. We should all stay in the dome and not move for this ground AoE that's right about to come. Here's the ground AoE. And this is where almost everyone in the raid moves left and stays clumped, whereas the 6 people assigned for late clears move left and back away from the boss.
4, 3,
ground pools come out, but melee should be clumped at this point. Dust comes out. It should be instant clears. Range delay for a couple seconds. These dust are out way too long. They should not still be out. The tank line to the left side of the boss, into nowhere, and then we restart with the soak mechanic. It's that simple. So that's what we look like. And I wanted to also share with you what another guild that I was watching looked like. This is on the third slice, so it's a bit more complicated, a bit more damage going out, but it gives the same idea here. So they go through the annihilation, and they clump up nice and tight after the annihilation because dust is about to come out. You can see there's ranged players in the back who are delaying their clears. So instant clear. Look how nice and tight those are. That makes it so easy to avoid hitting them. Okay. They go out. The ranged players are delaying a little bit. Now they're clearing. We get the soak. They're going to then move to the left of the soak afterwards. And then they're going to stack up, again, incredibly tight for healing. The tank pillars go out. They stay. They stay clumped up for the ground AoE that comes out. And then they move out of it. And then they do the same thing for dust. The bulk of the raid stays really tight together, whereas the range kind of slid off.
Clear.
That's it. Again, another super tight stack of the dust. So that's our goal. That's what it should look like. And hopefully this clears up some questions. Again, if you guys have any other questions or any other suggestions, please feel free to reach out to an officer. I'm happy to go over anything with you. And with that, Happy New Year, everyone. And looking forward to progging this boss with you.